You're all excited about it. You're packing your bag, you're repacking your bag, all of that type of stuff. You get there, but then you get to the top, and yes, you take it in, and it's an amazing achievement, and it's that moment. But then you're always going, well, what next? And I think if you're focusing on a destination, you'll miss everything that's in between. So I try not to go, that is what I want, and that is my goal.
Good morning. What is going on? Welcome to another episode of Boarding Pass. I am your pilot, Denzel Whitaker, joined by
your co-pilot, Jayden, Choi.
Come on, man. What up? How you doing, brother?
I know it's a good morning actually, and
Yeah.
we're both kicking our days off with a little similar color tone, green. I see it.
I see a little bit of brown, a little bit of green.
Little bit of brown and
We
green.
did not plan this, okay? It is National Earth Day. And no, it's not Earth Day, but that's what we look like. We look like proud supporters.
Yeah, we never like plan our outfits, but somehow we always kind of have a similar tone. This is kind of funny. I love it.
Somehow we do. Somehow we do. We do have a spectacular guest.
No time to waste. Her name is Victoria Broom, nationality UK, specifically Shropshire West Midlands. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. I hope I did. Occupation, actor. Fun fact, Victoria goes to bed every night with her favorite sleeping partner, stuffed Ted, by her side.
I wonder if she loves the show. Oh my God!
She's there.
She,
Okay, right.
She just pops in. Yes.
First of all, where this random fact came from, I am not sure, but I will tell you. I think it came from a fact that I did an interview years and years and years ago, and someone asked me, but that was when I was a child. I do not, as a aged woman, sleep with a soft Ted anymore. In fact, I've actually lost that teddy bear, which is
You
really
lost
sad.
Ted?
No.
Yeah, I lost
Wait,
soft Ted.
hold
I
on.
know.
Ted
I
just
know.
out in the world. Ted's lonely and cold. What
Ted
happened to Ted?
is around. I don't know. So I think it's because I've been in London over 20 years, so I've moved different places, and I think he's probably in a loft.
Victoria, please, you have such a decorated resume. And we're just really just proud to have you on here as fellow actors. We respect your craft. We've seen some clips of your shows. Really impressive stuff. Walk me through the journey. Like how did acting come to be in your life?
Well, this is going to sound a bit soft, I guess, but it's always been there. I feel like there's not a time in my life of where I haven't wanted to be an actor. And so I feel very privileged to be able to do it still and continue to do it. So I think when I was about 3 or 4 years old, with my soft head, but when I was like 3 or 4 years old, I used to enter like singing competitions when we used to go on holiday and things like that as a family. And it was then really that it was originally, I was very, very much wanting to kind of be Patsy Cline. So a country and western singer, being on stage and just kind of entertaining. And then it developed. I discovered Shakespeare at school, and I fell in love with the Shakespearean language and the stories of Shakespeare. So then I wanted to do a lot of classical theatre, and I did when I first came to London. I did a lot of stuff at the Globe. I played Lady Macbeth. I was like Desdemona in Othello. So I played a lot of classical roles. And then from around 2008, I started to go into screen. And then from there, I went into television. So it's as you know, as actors, theatre and TV, or theatre and screen are just so different.
Very,
different, yeah.
very, yeah.
They're massively, massively different. As a skill, it's very different as well. But there's something so grounding and so beautiful about the process of theatre. And recently, for the first time in 10 years, I went back on the London stage. And that was the first time in 10 years, just because my career had taken me into television. And I love the technical side of screen acting. Like, it's such a technique. It's not the journey, whereas with theatre, you're going on a journey the same time that the audience are, and you're discovering stuff at the same time, even though you know the script. But with film and TV, it's more of a technical thing because a lot of the time your close-ups, there's nobody reading with you. They're somewhere else reading in the lines. So it's very technical. So it was interesting for me to go back on the stage, actually. I loved it. I loved it.
Now, let me ask you this, because Jayden kind of brought this up earlier about you, and let me pull up the fact to make sure. One of the most influential LGBTQ plus people in UK by the Guardian newspaper's Pride Power list.
That's big.
Quite an accomplishment. Quite an accomplishment.
It's all right? It's all right. So
That sounds pretty beautiful. Sounds good.
Like,
right?
okay, I just have to know, I have to know, when you receive quite the honor like that, how is that? Like, how does that make you feel, especially knowing that your advocacy, like, this is something that is deeply important to you, and that, you're not doing it for the accolades, you're doing it because it matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell
I
us
think
how that feels for you.
so. It's a massive honor. Like, it was the first time I got it, I think was 2016, I think. And it was a huge honor. You get this email, you get this invite, you go for this breakfast, like it was all, and then you're in the newspaper. It was very, very lovely. It was very humbling and very, very lovely. But you're absolutely right. I don't do it for the accolade. The thing is that I've always just been me. So every time I approach a role, or every time I approach an interview or anything, there's always an essence of me in that. And because when I was growing up, there was nobody that was queer or lesbian that was on television. So the first time I saw two women in a relationship was in 1990, either 1991 or 1994. I can't remember which, but it was like a pre-Watershed kiss, and it was such a massive deal. And then there was the Ellen show that I stayed up really late to watch because it was on at like 11 p.m. at night, and it was the puppy episode, Ellen's puppy episode, and she came out as gay in that episode. And then the backlash that she had after that, like and I always said that I've never hidden who I am. Like, I've always just been me. So it's never been something that I've shouted about, or I've just always been me. And it just so happens that now there are more queer characters being written for television and for stage, but for television and for film, that the biggest roles that I've played have been queer female roles. And that's not because that's what I'm necessarily going for, but that's just because there are more roles being made about queer women, about queer relationships, about gay relationships. Like, there's just more out there, which is, we've got further away to go to get an integrated, like, where it's not a big deal that the characters are queer, but it's just part of a story and it's integrated into a story. And I have been very lucky that some of the roles that I've played, it is just that, it's very integrated into the story, and there's no big deal made about it.
Wait, hold on. Back that up for a second, because you said two interesting bits there. You said you feel like there's still, a lot of work to be done, right? Mm-hmm. And of course you've come to the States, and I'm sure very well traveled. Can you describe what you mean by that?
We've moved along a lot. The thing with regards to the industry itself, what I meant was, there seems to be a lack of authentic visibility on screen. So what I mean by that is, it's not the gay actors should play gay roles. It's not that debate. That's a huge different discussion. But it's more the queer female voices telling the stories. So written by queer female writers, directed by female writers. And as we can see from all of the award season, there are not that many queer female or female in general directors that are up for awards, or producers that are up for awards. But it's those stories that need to come through. Like, there are a lot of scripts that have, or like with big movies that have queer themes running through them, but you can kind of tell if a queer person has been involved in that story or not. From a queer person, I can tell if they've had a queer person involved in that story, because it's the authenticity.
It's like white people writing black dialogue.
It's for any marginal group of people. It's exactly that, right? It's right. Like, that any marginal group of people, if they're not getting authentic voices to actually have a chat with them, then there's no authenticity coming through in the writing
Right,
or
right.
in the production. And that's where I think it needs to develop personally.
What is something that you feel like is doesn't have the proper light? Doesn't have it might be either hidden in a corner or could be magnified to a degree.
It's exactly so. In the world now, there's a lot of dark places that and dark things that are happening, and just unbelievable, awful things that are happening. And in amongst that, there are people that can't live as their authentic selves in this world. And all that I want to be able to be is some sort of, for the queer community that can't live as their authentic selves, because it is a privilege to be able to do that. Like it really is, because some countries you simply can't. Some countries it's against the law. Some countries, your families will all of the awful things that a lot of people around the globe are going through.
And
And
if
it's
you don't
just that.
mind, can I ask you, like, is that something that you maybe personally struggle with? Like, when you discovered your own sexuality, right? Is that something you've wrestled with your family at all?
No, I was
No.
very lucky, and that's the thing is I was
That's
very, very
amazing.
lucky.
Yeah.
So I
I'm
came
glad
out.
you were.
Yeah, I came out at 15.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
and I remember when I was 12, I think it was, my mother actually said to me, "You do know it's okay if you like girls." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like I was like, "What do you mean?" And I think moms just know. And because I didn't see any representation on screen, I didn't know what she was on about. I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And then when I finally told her and my dad, and my mom went, "Vic," she calls me Vic. She's the only one allowed to call me Vic. She said, "Vic, I've known since you were 8 years old." And I was like, "Right,
Moms know.
okay."
It's so
Moms
funny,
know.
just
Yeah.
parents
So I
know.
had
Yeah.
I had a I'm very lucky, and I know that. And that's why I think I'm very aware of people that haven't had that still have to hide, that have had awful, awful coming out stories. And I think for those that can't live as their authentic selves, and that's with the Pride Power list as well. It is just I try to use my platform to say that there is a community, that we are there, and we're here whenever you're ready, and we're very supportive, and that's it. Like we're here, and it's okay.
Imagine it allows you to spread your wings a lot quicker, further, and faster to help other people because, you've basically had that. I could only imagine, especially with all of us being artists as well, like going to our parents and telling them, hey, we want to be actors.
Yeah.
Nothing stable about what we do. Jayden has shared a story previously on the show about just going to his parents and, telling them he wanted to be an artist, and they've been nothing but supportive. And, my journey has been colored with both support and also a little bit of trepidation as well. So, whether it be your career path, your sexuality, who you choose to marry, et cetera, like just having support. Can you talk to us about the importance of support?
It's so like, I mean, that's all I've ever known is support. And I try to be that for others. There's Since I've been on the television, I did a TV show called Different for Girls, which was an LGBTQI plus TV show. It was written by queer women. It was produced by queer women, and it was starring some queer women. And I played the lead of Fran. And when I did that show, and it went onto YouTube as well. And when I did that show, I had a lot of younger queer women contact me, then see my profile and say, "Thank you so much. You make it okay for me to be me." And that is I wasn't expecting it. I had letters sent to my agent, like of thank yous. It was incredible. And I remember I did a TV show for the BBC a couple of years ago, and I had the DOP, so the director of photography that people don't know. So he came up to me and he said, I knew you from somewhere." And I was like, "Okay." And he went, "My daughter's gay." And I was like, "Okay." And he said, "And she's been showing me your profile and your work for years." And I was like,
Wow.
"Wow." And he said, "Yeah, and she's came out this year. She came out in April this year." This was a couple of years ago. He went, "She came out in April this year, and she told me that it was because of you that she found the strength to tell us, and we've just been so supportive. And he said, so from a father, I want to say thank you.
Wow,
Wow.
that's
And
beautiful.
I was so overwhelmed by that. I was just like, wow. So what I do does make a difference,
Yeah.
and I'm just speaking my truth. So it just means so much to me that people can see confidence in themselves and know that it's okay. It's okay to be gay. It's okay, you know? It's like so many queer people, queer young people at the moment in the US and in the UK, because of how certain politics are going, are feeling scared and vulnerable. But we have a community, and we're here, and it's okay.
Well, way to perfectly sum that up, because a lot of times we are afraid because that support is missing.
Hmm.
But again, like, oh my God, what a beautiful story to share
Hmm.
about, the father and the daughter. That's really incredible. When you said this earlier, something about like now most of the characters you play are queer representation. You know, you kind of said two things that were interesting. You said number one, most of the characters I play, are that of queer characters, but then you also said like finding ways to strip that character off.
Yeah.
Now, can you kind of walk us down that fine line? Because I'm sure there's pieces of you in every single character. There's pieces that you're proud to play with those characters, but then you also need to take that character off.
Yeah.
What is that heaviness that you describe?
So when there's a few characters of where I've really had to kind of take stock and go, okay, I need to take this woman off now. So it first happened when I was young, and I think I was 19, and I played Desdemona in Othello. And that was my first real experience of struggling to take a character off,
Mm.
because I'm getting murdered every night by my husband, right?
Oh,
So
fun.
it was
Yeah.
very intense.
Yeah.
I was playing it for months and months and months, and I'm one of those actors that gets so like the character is part of my DNA. I get so consumed, and I really struggled for a while to get rid of her and to get out of that headspace. And I learnt how to do it, and I've had to do it recently. So the play that I did, or I haven't been on stage in 10 years, and I came back and I did it. There were so many moments in that character that I deeply connected to. And I was like, I need to be careful here. I need to be able to take this off. I did my process of how to do it. And it was the same with Fran from Different for Girls. She was multifaceted, this role that was just going from rock bottom, and she had addictions, and she had past traumas, and all of this stuff. And you get into you take it home, and you stay in that character. And I've had to learn how to do it. And with the play recently, it was also a test for me, because the reason I accepted the play was because I connected so deeply with the script and
Hmm.
Mm.
with the character. And it was a queer character as well, and I connected with this woman. It was me. A lot of moments on that stage, it was raw, and it was me. And I was like, okay. So every night I had to do a little ritual that I do to just take it off. I sit in silence, and I just mentally break it down and take her
Hmm.
off.
What is that ritual exactly? Is it
It's
just
that.
silence?
It's
Yeah.
like I sit in, so I wear the same scent. I wear
Hmm.
the same like clothes, and I take it off.
Mm.
And it's a weird, I know it sounds strange, but actors processes are
Sure.
weird anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the best way that I can. It's like I peeled off layers of
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
silence.
Like, has there ever been a time where you've played an individual and it created a breakthrough, not only, while you're discovering that person, but within your own mind that has helped you within your life because you do it for other people? What about yourself?
Yeah, well, the play that I just did.
The play you just
It
did.
was
Yeah.
a yeah.
Yeah.
It really There were moments of that play. I won't get into the story of the play too much, but there were moments of that play that it was me, and to even do that and to have such a rawness on stage and a vulnerability on stage was terrifying. When I've done screen for 10 years, that was terrifying. So I was like, I'm going to do this.
Sure,
Because
sure.
I think it's important as actors that we do things that make us uncomfortable. I think that's really important because
Yeah.
most of the time that's when you'll do your best work, is when you're most uncomfortable in it.
Right.
1000%.
And then you develop it and create it into something. Oh, I found it absolutely terrifying to do this, but then I did it. You know, it's been a lovely. The reviews was very, very beautiful and very complimentary, and I think because of such a rawness of it was there, and I'm so proud that I did it because now I've taken it off and it's done.
And we all go through that process. So it's exciting to, of course, hear someone like yourself, another fellow actor, just go through that process. It's actually reassuring for myself that I'm not psychotic.
No, it's a good,
Yeah.
as long as you can take it off.
As long as you can take it off. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you have to. Let's
Yeah.
get into your on-screen work. So I Jack Wright, yes. You play Mary Robbins. You guys are walking into your second season, are you not, for BritBox?
Yeah, we finished. We finished next week, so we
Oh,
wrap
amazing.
the second season
Oh.
next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations. So you're actively filming right now. That's amazing.
Actively filming. Yeah.
Okay, okay. You play Jack Wright's loyal housekeeper, yes?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Walk me through that journey. Just getting the audition, what the process has been like working on the show. You know, what are your discoveries along the way? You know, how do you enjoy it?
It's been an amazing journey because so I think Chris Lang, so he's a writer, he's a crime writer, and he's done some incredible stuff. He's a BAFTA winner. And Chris Lang is one of those writers that I think is a bucket list for actors to work with. So his characters are so beautifully crafted that they just go on. There's always something to unravel with each character and each of the relationships in the stories, and it was just beautiful to play. Like, I love her, she's so fabulous. Like, and in the second season you see more of Mary, a lot more of Mary, and there's a lot more intrigue around Mary, and she is very much the keeper of secrets. And we go into that a bit. I can't talk about season 2 obviously, but we go into that quite a bit more in season 2. But for those people that haven't seen season 1, so it's basically a crime drama family saga that is about a the head of a household, Jack Wright, head of the Wright family, who's this billionaire, self-made billionaire, and he dies under mysterious circumstances, and we find out that he's actually been murdered. And at the will reading, everyone is expecting, so his wife, his second wife, his first wife, they're all expecting certain things from this will, and none of it is what they think it is. So then it's like, well, why would they murder if they've been given 5 billion? Why would they murder? Right? Why is this random woman been given 8 billion? Like, what's going on here? So then it's all about a who done it, like who killed I Jack Wright. And it's a brilliant cast. So Nikki Amuka Bird is the lead with John Sim, and yeah, it's just a wonderfully glorious, complex web of lies, and it's fantastic.
How exciting.
You gotta
Yeah.
love a good whodunit. Gotta
It's a
love
proper
it. Yeah.
whodunit. It's
Yeah.
like a proper, and you're like every episode you're going, what? Yeah, it's great. It's really good. And the second season is the same. It's so good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but by the time our episode airs, I mean, you're probably done with shooting, but when is this supposed to be out, like at least expectation wise?
So the second season is so the first season's already out.
Right.
It comes to BBC the first season in June, but the second season will be December, January.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We got some time.
Yeah.
Listeners, frequent flyers, pop on in to check that out in June. And then this coming December, get your popcorn ready. All right. Just got to plug the show real quick. There is the show does have a lesbian relationship in it, does it not? Mm-hmm. In I Jack Wright. So talk about how far those storylines have come, because obviously, like, you used to put, you know, a same-sex relationship in a project and that was the whole focal point of it. Whereas now it's become something where it's like, okay, this is just a part of this person's journey, but this isn't the main story. You know, not once did you tell me anything about Jack Wright and it was about the relationship. To me, that's progress.
It is. Absolutely.
It's like I don't know if we had a story about bankers, but the bankers were black. You know what I mean? Before it'd be like, oh man, they were sharecroppers. They used to be slaves and now they're bankers. No, no, no. They're just dope bankers. You know, talk about that. Like, you know, marginalized groups, like we are making that progress to where we
Yeah.
don't have to shout it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think so one of my first shows, one of the biggest shows that I did at the time was Marcella, which was it won an international Emmy.
Congratulations.
And it was I played thanks and I played a lesbian character in that, but again it wasn't the story. It was integrated in the storyline. We all had our own lives. That was the main focus, is that we were trying for a baby, not that we were a same-sex couple. And then all of this other stuff in that world happened, and it's the same with Jack Wright. Like, whoa, okay, but it is just integrated into the storyline. It's not the main focus. But I think viewers have changed. I think the way that viewers are watching content now, the only thing, as I said at the start of the interview, the only thing that I think that is slightly missing is the queer female voice telling the story. That's it. Everything else, I think it's as it should be. It's just normal life, you know?
And talk to us about your production company as well. What is it? Futch and Film, is that correct?
Touch and Film Company.
Because, like, I mean, you even advocate for stroke victims as
Yeah.
well. I mean, like, advocacy is just, I hate to say this, but it's almost like, seems like it's synonymous with your brand. Like, you are quite the advocate. And sometimes people don't. Sometimes people show up to work, they clock in, they clock out, and then they go
Yeah.
back home. This is something that I feel like even if you didn't have the platform, you would still be out in the streets doing the work. So,
Yeah,
like,
and I think,
yeah.
but I think what's important is those that do have the platform should use it for good. Like the reason that I work alongside and I advocate for the Stroke Association is because my gran had a stroke. I was very close to my gran, and this was over 10 years ago. And the lack of information that was available and the presumption that we already knew what was going to happen afterwards, it was a shock. It was a shock to me and my family, so I had to research it quite a lot. But the thing that people don't realize with stroke is the depression that comes afterwards, and it doesn't matter about your age, and the stroke can attack at any age. That's why I do that, because I'm passionate about it. So I talk about things that I'm passionate about. So yeah, so I do try to use, but you know what, it's not that I'm even trying to use my platform. I just talk about stuff that is important to me.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's
I think people should
yeah.
hear it, you know?
And also, people should talk more about the things that are important to them.
Absolutely, right?
Period.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something, Victoria?
Yes.
When you think about your destination, right? When you think about everything you achieved, everything you stand for, what you would like to do in the future, right? What does your destination look like for you?
Oh gosh, I love that question.
Yeah, well, just so you know, we are a flight themed podcast, so we do this.
I
We are.
like that.
We love
like-
to hear it.
I like that. So the destination, I don't think it's about the destination though. I think it's about the journey. And I think it's
Yeah.
about, because what happens when you reach that destination? It's like climbing a mountain, I think.
Mm.
You're the prep and because I climb mountains. I love mountain
Jesus,
climbing.
you're a climber too?
It's such a peaceful,
Okay.
meditative place for me to just go solo hiking. I love it.
I get it.
Absolutely.
I feel
yeah.
you.
And the planning, you're all excited about it. You're packing your bag, you're repacking your bag, you're packing it again, putting your waterproofs in, all of that type of stuff. And then you get there, but then you get to the top, and yes, you take it in, and it's an amazing achievement, and it's that moment. But then you're always going, well, what next? And I think if you're focusing on a destination and the end goal, you'll miss everything that's in between. So I try not to go, that is what I want and that is my goal, because you'll always be sad because you're not there yet. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
So I don't know. And I'm looking forward to the journey of whatever it will be towards the end of that destination, but who knows?
That's the first. We definitely never heard this one.
I think it's important to not focus on the end.
Okay, real quick before we close this up, because we love, right? What do you have to say about those who are maybe out there in the streets still struggling to find their person?
Well, the person is there. You just need to be open to finding them, and you'll probably find them when you least expect it, I would imagine.
I
That's
Always
always say
my
the
happens.
same thing. I
Always
always say the
happens
same
like
thing.
that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Always.
When you're
Yeah.
not looking for it, they'll just be there. They'll just pop up.
From everything that we've discovered and seen within this interview, you are quite a wonderful human.
Thank you. That's very kind.
And as two people who advocate for love, love is love, please go find your person, no matter what that looks like. All right. Victoria. What, Jane?
No, I just love the quote, and like it just touched my heart.
We're all
Yeah.
soppy today.
Oh boy. That we are. That we are. We're in our feels today.
It's a
But
very special episode.
Yeah, right? I feel it.
nevertheless, thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful episode of Boarding Pass. Thank you for sharing your truths. Thank you for spending some time with us. It's been such a pleasure, Victoria.
Oh, my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure. I've loved it. Thank you.
It's a great honor. I learned so much from you today just by talking to you. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure our
bless
frequent
you.
flyer, our oh, thank you. Our frequent flyers would love this time too, watching this episode. It's a great honor. And thanks for sharing your stories.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
You already know what it is. Again, I am your pilot, Denzel Whitaker, joined by...
Your co-pilot Jayden Choi, and always remember, inspiration needs no visa. Thank you so much for watching.
Absolutely. Peace out, y'all.
Love. This podcast is made possible with assistance from entertainment and media lawyer Gordon Firemark, who helps film, television, podcast, and digital creators achieve the impact they deserve.
Boarding Pass is a production of IYMS Films, available wherever you listen to podcasts. We hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you did, please share, subscribe, like, and review. We definitely want to hear your feedback, and we always appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next time.